What's up, everybody? Welcome back. My name is D, and together we are Guiding Delight. Hope you guys have had a wonderful last couple weeks. It's been kind of calm, but yet still interesting, right? Lots of things have happening around and behind the scenes. I don't know how much you can see with your mind's eye, but it's been very deceitful. Also, it's been very telling and very empowering at that. So I just want to get into it, guys. We are, coming close to this December 21st full planet alignment, which I'm super excited about. But what do we got to do to be ready? What do we got to do to prepare ourselves, right? We just need to know that we are on the right path. How do we know we're on the right path? It's a good question, right? Are synchronicities happening in your life that are empowering you? Is different things happening in your life that is rewarding, right? Are things happening to you that is an acceptance, right? Is it helping you grow, or are you just hindering yourself, right? We can all sit there and spin our wheels in mud. I've done it myself quite a few times. But when we decide to work on ourselves, when we decide to get that traction, right, and we start climbing the hill, right? Are you making traction? Are you climbing the hill, right? Right now is not a time to go out there and say, well, I want this, I want that, and to be creative in your desires, right? Now is a good time to be thankful, right? Thanksgiving, be thankful for what you have. Take an inventory of what you have, right? Have that gratitude and that compassion for where you are, but then also have that understanding of where you would like to be and what it's going to take to achieve that. So when we put all these parts together, we're no longer seeking, right? Now we're stepping back, we're observing, and we're understanding what we have in our lives and the different things that empower our lives that we want to keep attracting into our lives, right? It's all about staying in that vortex, but how do you stay in the vortex if you don't understand what the vortex feels like? It starts off real small when you start evolving, right? You start detangling the DNA structure strands within your body. It takes time, it takes progression, but then eventually you start seeing results, right? You start having these experiences, right? I know for me, I started hearing dead people talk, which was really weird, right? That mediumship opened up as I expanded this energy throughout my body. Well, what happened next was quite telling. I'm trying to raise my frequency and come to a brighter spot, right? But I'm getting bombarded by dark beings, right? I'm getting attacked by the devil, right? I'm getting all these weird things happening to me, and it was very mentally imbalanced, right? I was freaking out, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do, this and that, and I just kept seeking, and I wanted to understand it, and this and that. But until I made the decision for myself that I wasn't going to allow that to take place in my life and to shut that out, did it not stop. So we're trying to achieve a higher state of consciousness. The devil wants to play devil's advocate and not allow us to rise out of the deceit muck of chaos, right? But once we do, how liberating that feels, right? So if you're in that struggling point, where's that 1, 2, or 3 little things that's going to help you propel out of that, right? How are you going to accept the fact the devil wants to hold you back, right? Well, you don't be scared of it, right? We talk about being fearfulness, right? Well, it's what it is, but it's cliche, right? But in the same sense, okay, your third eye's open. Devil comes around, starts dancing around you again, right? Instead of this time being in fear, you smile at him, right? Then maybe next time he shows up with a ring of fire, you just whiz on it, put it right out, right? Next time he shows up with 2 rings of fire, right? It becomes progressively more hard, but in the same sense, comical, because you've accepted the fact that you're pure and that anything he does is not going to alter you, right? And then you start sending the devil love, right? Start giving him hugs. Start blowing him kisses, waving at him, right? Well, eventually, it takes more energy to try to hold you back than to let you go. So they let you go. And here's the kicker. Once you go, you're still always tied to everything, right? We are one, right? So since we're always still tied to that, we've now reached higher elevations of consciousness, but we're still being vampired, if you will. I don't really like that term. We're still quantum entangled and our dark thought patterns and our dark realms, right? And as we progressively go more towards the light, that dark wants to come with us as well, which is great. We got to have the balance of the yin and the yang to escape duality. So why am I saying all this? You might have different things in your life that are causing friction, and you're not addressing them quite the way that you should be, right? So instead of getting fearful, instead of getting triggered, right, lean into it, really understand it, feel it, right, and then love it. What does he mean? Just love it. I love everything and nothing changes, right? It's an embodiment. It's a lifestyle, right? It's not just having these few thoughts. It's doing it day in and day out. You know, when you look at a certain situation, your subconsciousness or that voice inside your head, whatever you want to call it, says something you don't agree with, are you walking it back or are you letting it slide, right? Because the more you question it, the more you walk it back, the more you keep your thoughts in a line, the freer your mind is. The freer your mind is, the clearer the communication can be, right? We always talk about these downloads. Man, I got this download. Head's rocking, man. I'm getting this download. Did you get the download? Well, what's the download, right? Essentially, that's energy trying to communicate with you. So if you're communicating with energy that you don't know, and you don't understand most of this, because let's face it, there's no book out there. We got to live through our self-expressions. Maybe find someone like D on YouTube that can help explain it a little bit on a private session to really propel one forward. But we don't understand what we're doing, right? We think we're getting a download and we get all excited. We get giddy, right? But it's really, sometimes it can be that dark entity, or the devil, if you will, pulling our energy, right? But we're getting these endorphins as if we're getting a download. So what do we do? Right? What do we do? We pause. We clear ourselves. We open and expand ourselves, and we feel the energy coming into us. We don't just automatically assume it's a download. We read and feel the information, and then we discern, transmute it, and execute it in the way that it was desired to be. So as we come to this 21st of December, this full plane alignment, these downloads are going to get heavier, or these communications to thy vessel is going to be increased. How are you grounding that energy, right? Are you allowing it to come down, flutter you, get you all excited, and then 2 days later you're like freaking out, losing your shit, wondering when it's ever going to change, right? The change has already happened. The event has already happened. I said this months ago, okay? I said this is going to be a grand solar flash. Well, it's going to be a flash of consciousness. The normal eyes aren't going to see it. So prepare yourself. How do you prepare yourself? You got to understand you're on the right trajectory, right? Look at the scenarios that's happened over the last 2 months, right? Have they caused traction, or have they caused you to slip down the slope? If you're slipping down the slope, I'm throwing the rope out right now. Grab onto the rope and get some traction. Understand you are living in your purpose. Understand you are moving to that extraordinary vessel that you'd like to be, right? The magnificent embodiment of the power you wish to desire, right? But be careful. The more power you have, the closer you become to the Creator. So the closer you become to the Creator, the more you realize the biblical stuff actually has a big effect on what we're going through right now, right? To treat everyone how you want to be treated, but in the same sense, to give all the credit back to the glory of the Lord. It's a very powerful thing. I've been sitting back with that and really just taking that in. But what I really want you guys to understand is you're doing what you got to do. We're living in this magnificent, extraordinary time. Where is your thoughts? Where is your purpose? Where is your compassion? Where is your drive? If it's waiting on something else, you got it all backwards and you're hoodwinked and confused just like they want you to be, right? Oh, you might escape and you consider yourself this beautiful light being, but how much energy are you not sure where it's going, right? Well, how can we center that out, right? One of the biggest steps in the town, don't project, right? If you cannot have thoughts go in or come out, then essentially you're already in that pure oneness state. So less thoughts, more control over your thoughts. Understand when certain situations happen within your life that in certain certain scenarios come up and you do and achieve and realize you get greater results, that's understanding you're on an improvement, right? This situation always comes up and this always has the outcome, so I'm just going to avoid the situation, is never going to work. You have to embrace the situation, compute, discern, transmute, have the desirable outcome. When said situation comes around, click. You run the program. You've already thought, processed it, everything. You run it. Now, once it's running, don't contemplate yourself. Stay fearless. Stay bright. Stay vibrant. And see the result you desire be achieved. Right? That's the power of attraction, the power of manifestation, but in the same sense, that's the power of you controlling you. Right? Controlling your thoughts. Being your governor. Knowing you are projecting onward and not being left behind. So guys, understand you are doing great. Stay true. Be you. And until next time, guys, peace.